No, I don't like drama, but I am known to be a cheeky boy.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds not family friendly. Don't you think it would be beneficial to your mental health to have no debt?
There's so many people out there that are credit card people.
But you were the guy who said, I'm going to be a credit card person. And then you maxed out the cards and went into debt.
I think the vast majority of people should get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage if they want to be in the world of having a primary residence. To be clear, I was very much bad debt free before I started by many years.
Bad debt free. Okay.
Yeah.
Bad debt. We'll get into that. Hey guys, George Kamel here, and you notice I'm not in the office. I'm in Austin, Texas, home of the Longhorns, Good Eats, and the Woebegone Woman from Blake Shelton's 2001 country love ballad. And it's also the home of my friend, Caleb Hamer. That's right, I'm actually in Caleb Hamer's car right now. And if you don't know who he is, yes, you do. He's the host of Financial Audit, over 600 million views, well over 1 million subscribers, and we're here today for a new installment of Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee. And today we're going for a joyride in his Tesla, which I get to drive, to talk about wealth, the craziest money situations he's seen, his past, present, future, how he got a start, and how he made his first million. And speaking of which, help me hit my first million as we get started, subscribers that is. Hit the like and subscribe button, and let's pick up my friend, Caleb Hamer. Hey!
What's up, buddy?
Welcome.
How you doing?
This is so fun.
Yeah. How does it feel to be welcoming me into my own car?
You know, it's strange, I'll be honest. Yeah. But it's a beautiful vehicle.
Thank you. I have some ice cream here.
Is that what that is?
Some ice cream drool.
I don't like to ask questions in someone else's car.
I know.
I did notice that you are a Costco member.
I am, but why is it sitting in the car?
And why is it not an executive membership?
I want to pay that annual fee, man.
Dang. All right, we'll get you more subscribers so you can afford the...
Thank you, please.
You guys are in a crisis. I'm on my way.
I noticed in some of the old videos with, you know, Graham and Jack, you said, I'd love to hang out with George.
Yeah.
And I came to you a year and a half later.
Thank you, because I don't really fly.
So you live in Austin, Texas. All I know about Austin is, you know, great food, wonderful art, creative scene, and then they keep Austin weird.
Yeah.
What are you doing to keep Austin weird? How are you doing your part?
Finding the interesting characters in Austin and putting them on display in front of 1 million people, you know? It's a nice little advertisement.
Most of the people on Financial Audit, are they from Austin? Because you fly people in as well.
Yeah.
But most of them are local Austinians?
Yeah. Austinians?
I like Austinites better. That felt weird coming out of my mouth.
It just tends to be that... You know, some of the more characteristic weird finances tends to be with some of the more characteristic weird people. Who would have thought?
Before we get to finances, which we will, I need to ask about your music, your musicality. Yeah. You're a composer by trade. Are you still doing music?
Yeah, man.
You still play? You get the old, what do you play, sousaphone? You're a sousaphone?
Trombone's what I played.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played in a long time. I played it in our post show once on for our subscribers, but...
Did they want more, or they said no more?
Probably no more
trombone.
Because this embouchure is dead. I have not played in years, but...
Oh, it's difficult. That's true. You kind of lose it a little bit.
Yeah, it's the muscle. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I was like tired. It was like legitimately tired.
But you know, you compose as well. Is that kind of out?
That was my thing.
You were doing that as a side hustle?
Dude, that's what I wanted the main thing to be, and it was going well there for a while. I was studying music composition at Western Michigan University with... You know, 3 different professors there, and they were all great, and it was going pretty okay. I was actually making a livable income. I think the first year that I tried to do it like full time and then dropped out of college, I was making like $30,000 just selling the music and getting commissions. Because one talent I think I was as good at in the music world, whether or not my music was good, that's for other people to decide.
You know, if you're making money off of it, it can't be terrible.
I was good at selling people to get on to like the consortium. Like, I want to write a new piece of music. I want your school to be a part of it. You know, sign up $500 and, you know, get your name on the consortium of funders of this new piece of music.
I love the word consortium.
I know, it's a good word.
That's a $10 word if I've ever seen it. Okay, so you're not doing it as much.
I would love to.
No one's clamoring to hear more Caleb trombone.
I know.
You've reached the house of unrecognized talent. Please start after that.
Well, let's talk Financial Audit. You've been doing Financial Audit YouTube now for how long?
2 years. 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah. And as of this recording, it's at like 1.36 million subscribers.
Yes.
In that short amount of time. Why did you start this? Because you were doing some YouTube stuff before then.
Yeah.
And then was there a day you were like, I'm going to try to get someone in here and just look at their numbers?
When thinking about making a show that I wanted to do, it was kind of like how I would write music as well. And it's just like, this doesn't exist the way I want to exist it. I want to watch this, so
You made the content
let
you
me
would want
do
to
it.
watch.
Yeah, make the music I want to listen to, make the content I want to watch. And after getting turned down by 2 YouTubers for jobs, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be a YouTuber myself, guys.
I'll show them. Was one of those people Graham Stephan?
Graham Stephan was one of them. He didn't know that I wanted a job. It was one of his employees that essentially said no. But there was a YouTuber here in Austin who has like 5 million subscribers, and he's still great. I don't have like any beef with him. He was hiring a producer, and I wanted to leave my product management job and just work in that creative space and make content, because I've always just been obsessed with YouTube, just loving it. And you know, I pretty much got turned down for that job after a long sequence of events of just, you know, will he, won't he type of things. And you know, at that point I had the itch that I just wanted to make content. Now, when I went and started making content, there was no intention to make this a full-time job. It was honestly a hobby.
So you
I
just
clearly
went
needed
for it
a
as a
hobby.
test. You're like, I just want to do this. Let's
I
just see
needed
how
a
it goes.
hobby. Yeah.
When did you know, like, oh, this is working? Like, was the first episode like, oh my gosh?
No, but
Because you had a full-time job at this point still?
yeah.
What were you doing?
A product manager.
Okay.
And I liked it, but you know, I didn't have a lot of passion into it. And
But you had the passion for personal finance, clearly.
personal finance,
That's why you started
content
the channel?
creation.
You saw other finance creators. You went, I'll try that.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I did some videos. I did Financial Audit, then I did some talking to the camera videos, kind of like Graham Stephan.
Yeah.
And well, you make some of those videos too, I think, right?
Yeah, I talk to the camera. That's
Yeah.
kind of my style. You know, we do other
Yeah.
things like this. This is on the same channel, so we do have a variety.
And then you insert a clip from a movie that.
The editors, they
Yeah.
go ham. And sir, I don't know what's going on in pop culture. They tell me this is relevant.
Insert clip that takes you away from the video here.
Don't tell me what to do.
We've talked about starting fake beef in hopes
Yeah.
that the audience would react, but I don't know what beef we would have.
No, I don't like drama, but I am known to be a cheeky boy.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds not family friendly. What is a cheeky?
Just-
You mean cheeky, just like sort
Always
of like,
just like little
just a little jab.
nudges.
Yeah, I've
like,
been known
you
to do that. You know,
it's fun, but
got my
not
snark
in
and
like a
sarcasm.
negative way. You know,
Yeah.
not to ever actually like hurt someone.
well, I gotta ask, as you've been doing Financial Audit now, people know about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Impractical Jokers. Like at some point, they know and they want to be on camera.
Oh, sure.
Have you found it's harder to sort of filter out to get the people who really need the help versus the people who are like, this is my time to get 500,000 people to see my face?
We get hundreds of applicants a day, and
That's wild.
It is, I know. And then
From all over the world, I imagine.
yeah, mostly the United States, but from all over the world. And we narrow down to whether or not it's finances that we think we could actually help with. And then we've also just continued to narrow down to, will this be an interesting conversation? Because in the end, it is still a podcast. And then we have phone calls, lots of onboarding processes. But determining whether or not they're chasing clout, that has been a hard thing. Now, we require that people are not allowed to use their real name. We assign a name to them. So they will not, if they're trying to promote something, they're not going to be found.
Okay.
You know, we do extensive interviews. People know Noah from my show. He's one of the producers. He has conversations with them to, you know, many pre-show interviews trying to understand what they can provide to the show, but what they also want to get
Because part
from
of it
the
is
show.
entertainment at this point.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but
it's got to be an interesting, entertaining personality on the other side. It can't be someone who's real, just going to keep it down here. Does that
Yes.
become difficult? Because there's sort of a chemistry that you need to have with the other person.
kind of. I mean, a lot of the times I definitely feel that I lead like 80% of the conversation, because these are people that have never been on camera. They never expected to be on camera. They're just random
They're not like
people.
communicators by trade.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's another way to know that I don't think that the majority are just trying to be on cameras, because a lot of them don't know what the heck to do.
Thank you.
The moment
it's a
they
self-edit. That's what it's called
Yeah.
in the biz.
Saying cuss words is illegal.
I think people always get really nervous when they get on camera for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
They walk in this room, even with all the onboarding we provide. They walk in this
The
room.
lights, the cameras, the studio,
lights, the
there's 17
cameras.
people there.
Exactly. It's so much. So they get a little nervous. And I think it can kind of look like, oh, they're trying to put on a show instead of just being genuine. Like, and I I can kind of understand that. And we just try to find ways to make them feel comfortable. You know, sit down, have conversations with them beforehand for a while. Noah talks to them for like 20 minutes or something before we film, just to try to get them to feel more comfortable.
That makes sense.
But we don't allow people. We refuse to allow people that just want to come on in order to plug something.
Well, this is Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee. We are on our way to get said coffee. We went to your, I guess, favorite coffee shop.
That's my go-to chain, at least.
And on top of that, we got to talk millionaire stuff. And at some point, when we've been talking over the last 2 years over Instagram, you were not yet a net worth millionaire.
No.
But you have been making a lot of money since then. You've been buying real estate. You've been paying off debt. And at what point were you were you tracking this?
To be clear, I was very much bad debt free before I started by many years.
Bad debt free. Okay.
Yeah.
Bad debt. We'll get into that.
The suspense is terrible. He's gonna go this time. I hope it'll last.
So what do you remember? Like, was there a certain day? Were you tracking this? Like, all right, here's my net worth today, next month, next month. Was there a date you like kind of had a mini celebration of like, cool, that's a cool milestone?
Yeah, I can pull up the spreadsheet.
My man's got a spread. This is, you think you're like Caleb, you're not like Caleb. This guy's got the net worth spreadsheet since 1994.
My net worth when I started YouTube was $250,000, which is substantially higher than I think like the $14,000.
That means you've been doing some good things.
Yes, lots of real estate
your career.
Yeah. Okay, we hit millionaire at some point because there's no service.
Oh man, was that a tease?
It was a service tease, but it was at some point last year. I would say mid 2023.
Mid 2023, you hit the millionaire status. Did your life change at all?
No, because I had a number in mind that I talked about on other podcasts that I wanted to get to, for just knowing that I could retire and live off of that.
So you're kind of like retire. Let's call it your FIRE number. Your financial independence, retire early number.
Exactly.
Has that changed over time? Because I feel like a lot has happened in the last year for you.
Not necessarily. I mean, I always have stretch goals of just because I'm competitive with myself, but it's not like a grab as much money as possible type of thing. Because, I mean, you saw, like, I spent a lot of money on more employees than most YouTubers have. You know, I spent a lot of money on the studio, making it just the area cool, nice. I more care about growing the business, being an employee at, you know, above, you know, median wages, all that kind of thing. Like, I want to pay well. That's what I care about. But yes, I do have stretch goals that I am competitive with myself, wanting to see how far I can push. But compared to, I think, a lot of other finance YouTubers, I'm not as like, I need to hit this number. I had a number.
Well, you're gonna hit it. It's just a matter of when. Is that it?
Maybe. I mean, I hit my original number, so I know I can retire now comfortably.
Oh.
So like, I'm satisfied to just be myself anytime, anywhere, no matter what.
Is this within like investments versus real estate?
It's both. Okay. So it's cash flowing rental properties.
Okay.
And it is in the stock market overall.
Okay.
Yeah.
And based on all that, you're going, I could retire today. Because I saw on the last Iced Coffee Hour you were on, you were saying you feel less secure than you did when you were getting started.
Yes.
Like you're kind of still, there's a worry of like, what if it all goes away? What if it's not enough to retire?
Before I hit that number. Once I hit that number, I feel...
So in the last 6 months, it's changed. Where you're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. My first conversation with them was about almost a year ago now. And that's where I'd say within this last year, things have gone really well.
Okay. Can you kind of break down what your net worth is made up of? Like, what is in there?
Yeah. So I have 6 properties that are cash flowing. They're in my hometown, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Oh, wow.
And it makes
all
up
of them
about
long distance for you because you're in Austin.
Yeah, my family's there.
You have 6 investment properties in Michigan plus
like
your
16
your primary residence here in Austin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's 16 units, so 16 individual units, 6 different properties. I mean, that together with without major expenses, that generates, you know, over 6 figures a year. But, you know, I don't really take that into account. I really assume I'm only going to walk away with, like, at worst, you know, if everything were to go to bad, like 15% of gross.
Okay. And that's knowing you have mortgages on a few of those.
A couple of them, yeah.
Okay.
Most of them that I ended up getting in cash.
And what about, like, for example, this car?
Yeah.
Was this a cash purchase?
Yes. If I could have got it at like 1%, they were doing a Model Y offer for like 0.99% Model Y. I would have gotten that in a heartbeat.
Okay. Because this is where we agree on a lot of things if we actually looked at all the common ground.
Okay, guys. George is right now going down a one-way, the wrong direction.
I'm following the
clear.
lead vehicle. I was told to follow the lead car. They took me the wrong way, and if we get arrested, it's Caleb's car, not me.
Ooh, he's snitching.
Hello.
going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. What can I grab for you, boss?
Can I please have a decaf quarter winter moon 16 ounce?
16-ounce decaf quarter winter?
Yes, sir.
For you.
And I'll do a Nitro Moon sub for the oat milk.
Nitro Moon sub oat. Got your boss. All right. I'll see you at the window.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Are you going caffeinated?
Oh, yeah. Oh, is it too late for caffeine? I guess
It's 3:30. You're not supposed to caffeine after 3.
Boy, and I've already had probably 500 milligrams today.
Millionaire, September 2023.
September of 2023. That's amazing. And as of this recording, it is August of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine as your income's exploded from the business side, like, do you have a new, all right, I'm going to hit 2 million by this, and like, do you have projections or goals, or is it sort of just like, all right, from now it's just going to do what it does?
Yeah, I don't do that anymore because at this point, I don't want to. I've seen that consume other creators. I don't want to do that.
The obsession over the next. Okay, what about the next milestone?
Yeah, I just want to make the best show we can, grow the business, grow employees. I love working with people, collaborating with people. That's what I want to focus on. I hit my retirement number, so I'm good to go forever.
Okay.
If the thing crashes down tomorrow, you know.
We're at the drive-thru now. This is very exciting. I hope
This is
they
my
know
boy.
you.
I love this guy. He's so nice.
Hey, I'm driving Caleb's car.
Hey.
That's what's up.
You're letting him drive?
That's right.
That's what I'm saying. But we have all the cameras here, so we thought,
okay.
you know, we're having fun.
We're looking 1380 is the damage.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh, Summer Moon's good.
Cash is king. There you go, my man.
That's right.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second, boss. We'll be right
You're like,
back.
oh, cash, crap. I gotta count change
It
now.
just ruined him. No one
just-
holds cash.
I hate making people do work.
Yeah, no one holds cash. It's 2024.
I always have to count the change now because these young folk,
Are you saying he can't count because he has a mullet?
the mullet had nothing to do with it.
It's not a hairstyle, it's a lifestyle.
So Caleb, you've made your living calling out everyone else's mistakes in order to help them and, you know, help them grow and win financially. And you've done dumb stuff yourself. It's kind of the Dave thing where, you know, it's not like you're above it all going, I'm perfect, stop screwing up. But you've made your own mistakes.
What is that? I got a degree in DUMB.
It's a PhD.
Oh.
Give it some credence.
Sorry, it's been a few years.
So what are some of the mistakes that you made maybe early on?
Yeah, I
Maybe
mean,
as an 18-year-old, whatever.
dude, we're all dumb. Humans are the stupidest pieces of like flesh that exist. Like, we are just so dumb. So it's okay to make mistakes. And that's what my show's all about. It's not excusing the mistakes, but it's about being called out on them, learning from them, and then moving on. So I make mistakes every day. The debt mistakes that I've made in the past, I took out a massive amount of student loans, and I was just being really dumb with school, and I started taking out Sally Mae private student loans. I bought a $5,000 iMac that I needed to compose music. Of course, I needed to, of course.
Every good composer has to buy a
Right.
$5,000 iMac.
Makes total sense.
I borrowed a down payment for a car from my grandparents, $2,500, and I had vehicle debt. It was like $15,000 for a whole. Oh, I wish I talked to someone before I got it that knew anything about cars, but it was a
You just walked in the dealership and they were like, bro, I got you.
2013 Nissan Altima. And those transmissions like don't even last like 60,000 miles.
Yeah,
It was
you could have
really
Googled that
bad.
one. They had Google back then.
I know.
You could have avoided all of this.
I think I was just excited to get in a car that wasn't $1,000 for the first time.
Dang.
I know.
So
That
you
was
paid
dumb.
off all of that debt. That's what you call bad debt, I assume.
Yes.
Except the
Well,
student loans.
Except for the low interest student loans.
We need to talk about this.
Sure.
Why have you kept your student loans for a decade? I mean, how long have you had these for?
Yeah, since I started taking them out at 18.
Is it
They're-
like a sentimental thing? Like, oh, the memories.
Well, yeah, I have
Kalamazoo.
them framed with a big kissy thing on there.
Because your degree was in what?
in dropping out.
Oh, you dropped out.
Yeah.
You have the student loans to show for it.
Absolutely.
Now, life worked out for you, so it's not like, woe is me here.
Yeah, and I think that's 40% of people who go to college drop out, if I'm not mistaken.
it's a astounding amount.
Yeah. I mean,
so
they're
how much do you have left in student loans?
Yeah, like 35.
Okay, and the interest rate is what?
2.5%.
And so you're like, I can finesse it and make a spread? Is that your
Barely even
mentality?
finessing. I mean, the money that, obviously, we're having an interesting week in the S&P 500, and in general, who knows when this episode goes up, it could be down 10% for the year. Either way, with the money that I've put in versus paying it off is up like 30, 40, 50%.
Okay.
Whereas, like, if I paid off the student loans instead, I would have made progress of 2.5%.
Any other debt that's laying around?
I have a mortgage on my primary residence
Okay.
and 2 rental property mortgages. Other than that, no.
Okay. This brings me to my next question.
Sure.
You've been very honest with your panic disorder, anxiety issues. A lot
yeah.
of the guests that you have on, they're experiencing a lot of mental health issues. And you've talked about the relationship between finances and, lack of money problems, debt, and mental health. So here's my question. Don't you think it would be beneficial to your mental health, to your anxiety, to have no debt?
Because I think I have a better life now because I hit my retirement goal because I put the money in the markets and let it ride the wave instead of paying off a low interest loan.
But that's assuming you wouldn't. You would be doing very well for yourself had you just paid off your debts, bought things in cash, went a little slower.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I would be at my goal. Maybe, maybe not. I've had a lot of ability to grow and compound. We've been in an incredible bull market since, this whole year almost so far and the majority of 2023.
Yeah, when things are going well, it's easy to go, I like where I'm at.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. COVID's a great example. Tenants don't have to pay. No one's, things you're freaking out. Now all of a sudden you got mortgages to pay, but the tenant's not paying rent. Wouldn't that have freaked you out had you had all these properties in 2020?
Not necessarily, because I have an emergency fund for the businesses as well. And the rental properties, it's set to last, a year if there's no
something
tenants.
Went down.
Yeah, so that doesn't bother me personally.
You've said, I finesse this, and you have a 0% loan out for a system you're using for the business, and I'm gonna finesse this and make money here.
Yeah.
But you've said for most people, one of the biggest traps, the number one thing holding people back is they're trying to finesse the system and doing it in a way that is causing them harm.
Yes.
Because they think I'm gonna be like Caleb. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pay off the balance perfectly. I'm gonna do it the right way.
Sure.
And you also said that humans are the stupidest species on Earth.
Okay, not stupidest species, but we're stupid. That was an over-exaggeration. We're stupid, not the stupidest species. I mean, obviously we're the most advanced species on this planet, but we're dumb.
Oh, I don't think I'm a lot dumber than you thought that I thought I was once.
So that's where it's kind of a, do as I say, not as I do, because you have sort of risen above the suck bar of,
completely disagree. There's so many people out there that are credit card people. That's what we call credit card people, not credit card people. For a lot of people that are not able to be disciplined in the world of leverage, the world of debt, the world of being able to use a credit card, don't take it. It's okay.
But you were the guy who said, I'm going to be a credit card person. And then you maxed out the cards and went into debt.
Well, no, I didn't say I was going to be a credit card person. I didn't know what money was. I didn't have a goal of being a credit card person. I had a goal of getting a product that I wanted,
Yeah.
So, that's completely different. If people are knowledgeable about the system and then they're not able to actually utilize it correctly in any way whatsoever, then they shouldn't be doing it.
Consumer debt, all-time highs.
Yes.
Credit card debt keeps going up. So I can't in good faith be like, just be a good credit card person. Be a responsible America.
If we're in both you and I are working at companies that love the idea of education and we sell different educations, what's wrong with being able to teach people how to become better at something? I do say that the majority of people should not use credit cards, but if people are able to, in a healthy, what was the phrase you said when it came to whether or not people should use credit cards or should not use credit cards? You were like, using money intentionally. I'm very intentional with my credit cards. That is a very intentional thing. And I still think that the vast majority of people should not use credit cards. I think the vast majority of people should get a 30-year fixed rate mortgage if they want to be in the world of having a primary residence. And I think that's fine. I think 15 years is pretty silly and pretty unrealistic for the average American right now, where interest rates are, where, we just still hit. Last month was record home sale prices. If you combine that with where interest rates are stagnant at a pretty substantial high, obviously it's not the highs that we saw in the 80s, but you take that, you can put it into a 15-year program. The average American can't afford that by any stretch of the imagination.
Well, the average American is broke up to their eyeballs already. They're not in a place to even do this. And then when they do take on the 30-year, what happens is they tell themselves, I'll pay it like a 15, I'll pay it off early. And we know what they do is they hang on to it forever. They get a second mortgage. They get a HELOC to do the rent. And they just make more bad choices. That's not everyone.
And we could be against that without being against the 30-year fixed rate mortgage.
I still think if everyone was investing heavily into the market and the savings rates were at 15 or 20% and everyone I would be like, okay, we're doing good. The problem is nobody has margin to even invest because they're stacking the 30-year mortgage with a car payment, with never paying off their student loans, with racking up credit card debt. Then they add on a HELOC, a personal loan. That's what I'm actually seeing in reality, and I'm sure it's a lot of what you're saying.
But your argument is saying that because people are doing dumb, that we can't teach people to use the system correctly. Like, that doesn't make sense.
I see debt. If you're going to take on a mortgage, get rid of it as fast as possible. The 15-year causes you to be in a guardrail, to have a guardrail there. Hey, we'll be back to chatting with Caleb in just a moment. But first, let me shout out a sponsor of today's episode, Laurel Road. They don't just have a delightful name, they have a delightful high-yield savings account that can help your money work harder for you. They have super competitive interest rates, there's no bogus maintenance fees every month, there's no minimum balance required, and your deposits are FDIC insured. And best of all, Laurel Road's premium care team is there for you when you need real humans to help you with your very human problems. So go check them out, make your savings work harder for you. Go to laurelroad.com/George or click the link in the description below. Another sponsor of today's episode is Tello. If you've done a financial audit of your own, you might know that you're paying way too much for your cell phone plan. And Tello is a great way to save big without sacrificing on coverage. They have plans as affordable as $5 all the way up to a whopping $25 for the unlimited everything plan. Also, if you're a big traveler, Tello has you covered. They have a brand new affordable international roaming program, and you're covered in over 250 countries. So what are you waiting for? Go save big today. Go to tello.com/George and you'll get an extra $5 off their unlimited everything plan for your first month of service. That's tello.com/George or click the link in the description. All right, we paid the bills. Back to the conversation.
So even with whatever disagreements or criticisms, I mean, I will say this, just like, absolutely, one, I respect the heck out of what you guys do. Like, millions of people's lives have been changed because of it, and it's incredible. Unfortunately, with the devil's advocate annoying brain that I have, I always want to like nitpick on different things, but I still think in general it's just so cool what has been able to be done on all of essentially finance YouTube, from Dave Ramsey to just like everyone. The fact that people are watching the content and they're able to improve their life, that's what's crazy. And I know I'm bringing up a couple little criticisms, and what's interesting is like you can watch the most brain dead content out there. Let's just say a general Mr. Beast video, like you watch that and no one will ever criticize anything, but he makes a video where he builds homes and that's where all the criticisms are coming in.
When you try to do good.
So the moment you start mixing in wanting to actually help, because if you're not perfect, if you're not doing it, if you're not making the exact show that they want to see, if you're not doing the exact thing that they want to see, then it's not good. If it's not 100% perfect, it's bad. So perfection is obviously the enemy of good. So even though I might disagree with a couple of things like the $1,000 emergency fund, okay, I still think in general what you guys have done has been insanely incredible, and people have literally changed millions of people have changed their lives because of the content, and that within itself is incredible. And I would love to be able to leave a legacy like that, you know, just like having that, that's what a blessing, you know.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be a part of it. I can't take much credit, but I'm trying to, you know, at least make this thing stick with the next generation for the next 20 years. How do we keep the message alive, the spirit of it?
You're bringing in the youngins, right?
How do you do, fellow kids?
I want to know, what are the big traps you've been seeing people fall into on financial audit? Is there a thread?
Dude, and it's probably the same thing you see on your shows and mine. It is, in America, it is the car. It's just people get themselves into a car payment they cannot afford, into a car insurance they cannot afford, into gas payments they cannot afford. Then all of a sudden something goes wrong with that car that they cannot afford. And they do all this without an emergency fund. Then they're underwater, so they might be able to finesse it. You know, one thing that you guys recommend, and I also recommend sometimes, is sometimes borrowing the difference and borrowing for like a cheaper car. But sometimes you're so far underwater that you can't even do that. The math just doesn't work.
Or your credit's so shot, no lender is going to give you the difference to borrow.
And we have people that come on the show that the repo man's chasing them, and you know they're avoiding that. We've had 2 conversations this last month about that.
Feels like a bad way to avoid it is going on a show that you know is going to get hundreds of thousands of views.
Fake names.
Oh,
fake names. That helps. We want to protect people's identity.
Now I'm like, whose name is real?
Yeah.
Is your name really Caleb? I saw your Costco card. It is.
It's Caleb with a K.
You just blew my mind.
Car loans are a big one.
Car loan's a huge one. In general, not having an emergency fund, I feel like lands a lot of the people that come on our show into one of the situations that they're in, because a lot of people start with something wrong happening, you know, a medical expense, a pet getting sick, what pet insurance actually can help with. I do support pet insurance. It saved me thousands of dollars. Or, you know, a car breaks down and you don't have an emergency fund, and you end up in debt, then all of a sudden that debt is 30%, and then you're just trying to be able to catch up on those payments. But even, you know, people have criticized me, and it's not an unfair criticism. They just usually never hear my response to the criticism. It's, well, okay, what if people don't have the emergency fund and their pet gets sick? Are you just going to let them die? No, go into the debt for the pet. I get it. I would do it. Now, because you have the debt, sacrifice your daily McDonald's and pay off the debt first before you go back. It's okay if you end up in a situation. You're not a morally bad person. You know, you're not a bad person for going into debt, you know, for whatever reason. It's just, what is the sacrifice you're willing to do to get yourself out of it? And that's what matters. A lot of people come on the show, and this is one of the big mental things that's wrong with the people that come on a show. They come in, they sit down, they think they're better than the person that came on the previous episode. They think, my situation's not that good, but it's not that bad either. And that's why I dig so deep into them. People think I'm a little too
people
intense.
Get comfortable in their own little pile of poop because they think, well, someone else got a bigger one, so I'm not that bad. And that comparison game sort of keeps you stuck.
Yeah, and then when I tell them how much money went out versus came in, Pikachu face. You know, they have no idea.
They've never looked at that. I made $6,000, I spent $8,000. Okay, this is a problem.
Yeah.
That's half of the show, is just trying to get to the bottom of those numbers. You know, and you get to do it over a long period of time, over, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours. We have 7 minutes to accomplish that. So it's a different ball game for sure.
Yeah. We had a couple that came on recently, and they're like, I'm surprised you guys even accepted us on the show. We thought our situation was boring. And then we showed them they had $150,000 in bad debt. Like,
and they thought it was boring?
What world
They're like,
is
we just
that?
thought we were normal, everyday people.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what is giving you hope that's happening out there? Maybe with your audience more than it is your guests. But what are you hearing from people? Like, are they investing for the first time? Are they paying off that debt that's been hanging around? Do they get their income up?
A mixture of our follow-up channel and our comment sections, emails, things like that. We have a lot of people that have seen the show. I mean, it's easily in the, like, what, 20, 30,000 now of just either social posts or emails or comments, people that have seen the show and improved it. Being able to, one, entertain people, and two, actually literally change tens of thousands of people's lives, blessing of a lifetime. Like, there's nothing else that can compare to that. And then also, now that we're doing a follow-up channel, seeing people, even if they haven't done 100% perfect, which some have, there's people that are literally changing their lives that have been on the show, and they're actually improving their lives, and seeing those results on the follow-up channel. We also did a survey of all past guests, and, you know, some did worse, some did better.
Where are
but
they now?
It averaged out that it was like within 6 months, the average guest paid off $8,000 in debt, or the median was $6,000 in debt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so
and
some
that's like real things,
Progress.
real results that are actually happening.
That's cool. Thanks for sharing that. What is your next financial goal?
I want to grow the business and hire as many people to do, like, good things that we can. Like, you know, we're building Your Week in Money. That's our second channel that I'm putting a lot of effort into. Being able to hire people to work on that, and just in the collaborative space, being able to just work with these different people is one of the coolest things. And, like, people are able to, one of the first full-time employee I hired, he just bought his first house.
Wow.
And he
that's
did
cool.
that because of the thing we're
There's
building.
got to be some pride in that.
Yes,
Going, like,
it's so cool.
I provided an income from the stuff we're doing so that he could hit his financial goals.
Yeah. I mean, just being able to just see them actually live their lives based on the company that we're building together. It's really cool.
Caleb, I could talk all day. I love talking with you. You've done amazing work. I love watching your growth and success, and it's an honor to finally get in a car with you for Millionaires in Cars Getting Coffee. Thanks for joining us today. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Can you ask for a like and subscribe in the only way you can?
Please like and subscribe, guys. We need it. George needs it.
Desperate.
He needs to beat his boss. He needs to become the highest Ramsey personality subscribed channel.
That actually, that's a great goal. Yeah. I got to beat John Deloney first, and then Dave. It'll take a while. And subscribe to Caleb's show.
Thank you.
There you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this conversation with Caleb Hammer. Big thanks to Caleb and his whole team for having us out here. We've had a great time, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.